How to use your opponent's weaknesses in chess. Have you ever wondered how to turn the tables on your opponent by exploiting their weaknesses in chess? Understanding this aspect can significantly boost your game. Let's break it down step by step. First, the key to using your opponent's weaknesses is to identify them. Start by observing their piece setup and pawn structure. Look for pieces that are isolated or poorly defended. Also, check for gaps in their pawn cover or areas where their king might be vulnerable. For instance, if you notice an isolated pawn, you can focus your pieces on attacking it. This makes it difficult for your opponent to defend without losing material or position. Next, controlling the center of the board is vital. If your opponent is not managing the center well, you can move your pieces to occupy those squares. This gives you more space and better attacking options. When you control the center, your opponent may feel pressured to react defensively, which can lead to more weaknesses elsewhere on the board. Once you spot a weakness, think about how to provoke further weaknesses. You can do this by making threats that force your opponent to move their pieces or pawns to defend. When they push their pawns forward, they may leave behind weak squares that you can occupy. Remember, pawns cannot move backward, so these weaknesses can become permanent. Another important concept is the principle of two weaknesses. If your opponent has only one weakness, they can usually defend it. However, if you create a second weakness, perhaps by attacking on the other side of the board, your opponent will struggle to defend both. This can stretch their resources and increase your chances of breaking through. In practical terms, using pawn breaks can open lines and disrupt your opponent's pawn structure. Techniques like pinning and forking can target multiple pieces at once, forcing your opponent into tough choices. Double attacks, where one move threatens two pieces, can also be very effective. If your opponent's back rank is weak, you can use your rooks or queen to launch a decisive attack. Time pressure can also work in your favor. If your opponent is running low on time, maintain a fast pace to keep the pressure on. This can lead to mistakes, allowing you to exploit new weaknesses that arise. In summary, using your opponent's weaknesses in chess involves careful observation, strategic planning, and tactical execution. By focusing on weak points, provoking new weaknesses, and maintaining pressure, you can gain a significant advantage. This approach also has a psychological effect, forcing your opponent to react and defend, which can lead to frustration and errors.